Hi, everyone. I'm Karen Freeman-Wilson, and I'm the president and CEO of the Chicago Urban League. Last month, we announced the relaunch of the nextONE program. The nextONE program is our business accelerator that is operated through our Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation in partnership with the Polsky Center, the Kellogg School of Business, and many, many others who have come together as partners for this important program. We thought that it was important to bring the nextONE program back because it had been successful in 2007, 2008, and 2009. And we understood that with the new conversation about the racial wealth gap, it was important for us to support Black businesses in their efforts to build wealth for their families. And so today, we're going to talk a bit about why the nextONE program is important. And we're going to also talk about the opportunity that you have as a Black business person to participate in that program. The deadline to apply is April 26th, which is right around the corner. We're looking for businesses who have a proven model and who are looking to scale that business and who might be able to have the result or have the benefit of business school level training, of help with procurement and access to capital. And with that support, they would be able to take their businesses to the next level. We're looking for businesses that are focused in food delivery or food services, in professional services, technology, and who are cannabis adjacent. That means they're not flower touching, but they are looking to serve the cannabis industry. And I'm especially excited today to welcome to the nextONE interview stage my longtime friend, Tracy Alston with the Danielle Ashley Group. And I shouldn't say with the Danielle Ashley Group, but the president and CEO of the Danielle Ashley Group. And Tracy, I might add, is a nextONE grad. Welcome, Tracy.
Thank you so much for having me. This is so wonderful. It's very reflective of the years in which I was a student in the nextONE class. I can just recall so many great memories, but at the end of the day, it was the most incredible, impactful, just, I can't say enough about the impact that nextONE had on my business and my colleagues, that the other participants that were a part of it. I don't think anyone left without being on a new track of how to make my business grow. And I know that under your leadership, you are going to take it to yet a next level. So thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for being here. And I have to credit you with really starting me to think about bringing it back. You may recall last March, you were kind enough to give a welcoming reception to me as I began my tenure as CEO of the Chicago Urban League. And it seemed as if person after person after person that I spoke with at that reception was a nextONE grad and sang the praises of the program. But before we get into that, I want you to tell us about your business and just give us a little insight on the Danielle Ashley Group. I know what it does, but I want our viewers to know as well.
Well, thank you for the opportunity. I always seize the moment when I can talk about my business because that is the greatest investment that I have ever made, and I mean it. So, what has transpired for me as a result of Next One was, first of all, I started a business in 2000 in wake of looking at a new leadership. You know, there was a new president. It was all, everything was very new. But under that same auspice or umbrella was the darkness of small businesses that can survive. And how are you going to survive? And so, in knowing what I did, I was very much in touch with, colleagues and other people that were in my industry. By the way, I'm in marketing and communication. And I had just secured the Walgreens account. And that was
Sure.
20 years ago, actually. And we are
Wow.
still the agency of record for Walgreens. But prior to that, I was at NICOR. So I used my ability to go directly to corporate. I wanted to go to corporate accounts because I knew that that was where my services were needed most. Fortunately, I then at one point, by 3 years, I had both NICOR, I had Walgreens, and I had a political client named John Stroder. So between all three of them, they kept me extremely busy, and I was working from my home. I started from my home, and I quickly, I mean, literally, in that same year of John Stroder's campaign, I actually moved into 1900 South Clark. And that was my first real office. And I have since remained on Michigan Avenue. And I say that because of, and I say it proudly because there's not many African American owned businesses that are on Michigan Avenue. And I just want to let you know that there's a lot of room now. And so please, I hope this conversation encourages you to be one of my neighbors on Michigan Avenue because it's really cool. But moving into the whole crux of what this is about, Next One, and under the leadership of where I know you are going to go with this, Karen, is really something that is well needed. The class that I graduated from allowed me, and I was in the graduation class of 2007. It gave me an opportunity to actually go back to school. I'm a graduate of Indiana State University with
Sure.
another degree from Columbia College. So I have two degrees, and I did not have any idea about this world that I had stepped in the marketing communications field. But I knew that was where I wanted to be. And when I had an opportunity to have the Next One very first intro, which was a class, it's a bundle, but it included a classroom setting weekly at Northwestern. Well,
Sure.
come on, you need to know that that was big stuff. That was big stuff then, and it will always be big stuff to be in the classroom with Northwestern on a Saturday with the professor, and they're talking your language, marketing, business. So that was what really took my attention, but it also propelled me to want to succeed even further because what we were able to look at were different models of business and to be able to compare your own business to someone else who's highly successful. And for us as African American people, we have never been afraid to try. And that's
Sure.
the piece
That's right.
that gets the success roaring. And so being able to have the model is all we need and the opportunity. And that's what Next One, and Karen, that's what you're going to present to other entrepreneurs that I just don't know how very much a game changer this program is. But for me, I just know that, no matter what service of business you're in, if it's food service, if it's cannabis, any of the ones that you mentioned, The success rate for you is already up if you're able to understand the basics in how business works. I think that is something that many don't really zoom in on and focus on how does business work. Look at your maybe what you feel is your competitor, or even maybe someone that you would like to just imitate your business to be like.
Sure,
Um,
sure.
Find yourself a model that you know works for you, and then work it, because there is just such an magical door that awaits you once you step over into this side of the world. And I'm talking about the business world. So yeah, I could go
Absolutely.
on.
Well, tell me some of your classmates in the
Oh,
Next One program. I met some of them, and they, like you, had really impressive businesses. I even met one of your classmates who said she was preparing to retire, and I'm pretty sure she was not 1 or 2 years over 50.
that was
So,
that. That was
exactly.
that. Zach,
Yes.
Zach is one. She's in the professional business, and she's doing extremely well. And it was Next One that turned her around. The school, the graduating class for us for Next One was just premier. I have to say that, you know, the program allowed us also to go to Northwestern School of Business to be taught
Sure.
by Professor Rogers. I don't know if he's
Sure.
still there, but Professor Rogers was there for us.
Well,
And
Michelle Rogers is one of our advisors. She's on our advisory board, and we are working on Steve as we speak. So
oh my
we
God,
have
that is
we have
wonderful.
that half of that dynamic duo.
Well, that is amazing. And I would love to be able to come to that class just to peek at him, because he taught me a lot. He
Sure.
really did. But I think it's very important that when we talk about new entry and a new entry rather into the world of business, I think that they forget that you got to bring what you were doing. You got to remember what was making you feel successful before then,
Sure.
because there's a lot that goes ahead of you when you're starting a business, as you know. And for many that have a business that hasn't done so well, then it really, this is another opportunity through Next One to be able to revamp and say, okay, what is it that I wasn't doing that I can do better? And I think that when we can understand exactly the model of business, we select the model of business that we want to have, and you stay with it no matter what. And, in our class of Next One, we used to call it the ride or die. It was ride or die. We were going to graduate, and we were going to take our business to a whole different extreme. And we did. And
Well,
so,
it's interesting that you would talk about, looking at your business and determining what needed to be done. I think I had that conversation with Amy Hilliard
mhm,
about Next One and what
yes,
needed to happen, taking comfort cakes from
yes,
the individual pound cakes to flying with folks on United Airlines, which is
yes,
a huge, huge scale up
yes,
for the business. And, that's one of the things you talked about, producing or providing services to Walgreens, to NICOR. One of the reasons that we want to offer Next One is so that people can get into the pipeline to provide services to corporate America so that they can provide goods and services to different governmental entities. Would you talk about the impact that being able to have a Walgreens contract, as you talked about earlier, how that impacts your business?
oh my goodness. I can't even ever stop telling you. about the benefits of being able to have a Fortune 50 company on your roster. Okay. It means a lot. And I'll tell you what really means a lot is that when you reflect back on what your strategy is, because every entrepreneur starts out with this, we have a real, I call it the cheat sheet, and that's
Sure.
everything that you want to accomplish and the people you identify that can help you reach that goal. You have to have a cheat sheet and you have to have those elements included in there because it takes other people. There, we can't do it by ourselves. It requires you to know someone that knows someone that can
Sure.
open the door for you. And that's how business is done. It requires you to go to that cocktail party that you didn't want to do, but you go on and buy the $50 or the $100 ticket
Sure.
and
Sure.
know that you're going to get a return out of that. You have to do things that allow you to be seen and so that you can make those contacts. So unfortunately, I can only share with you that this COVID has really put a little damper on our networking ability, but it hasn't slowed us down from making calls and having a conversation like we're having right now, Karen, is very important because we are still able to, talk with one another and get the insights that are necessary to help someone pull up their strings and say, okay, I'm going for it. I'm going to be the part. I'm going to be the success of the next one class. So, and by the way, I want you to know it does get competitive like that. You think about it, and you're like,
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
but it's so much fun.
Well, that's a great competition too. And here's
Hmm.
what we all also understand. There are a lot of dollars being spent in corporate America. There are a lot of dollars being spent by governmental entities. And so that type of competition is healthy because everyone can win.
Absolutely, absolutely, Karen. You're really nailing it.
Well, you know what, Tracy, I just want to thank you for just spending some time sharing your story. I will tell those folks whose interest you've piqued, because I'm sure you've piqued a lot of interest for potential next one class members for 2021.
Hmm.
Our application again is due April 26, 2021, which is next Monday. We are also looking for those businesses who have a threshold revenue of $250,000, 2 employees or more, and that can include the business owner, him or herself. We are also looking for businesses in the food related services, cannabis adjacent, professional services, or technology. And it is a 9-month cohort based program. That means that you will have 10 to 15 new best friends because, as Tracy has described her class, you will go through this process, through this program with others who are looking to scale their businesses just like you.